Okay, we can stop the music now. We can't have that peaceful music going on. I guess maybe I should have kept it actually. The peaceful music goes well with the most peaceful president that we've ever had in all of history. Um, he should have gotten the Peace Prize. I don't know what they were thinking, honestly. I'm just so happy that that Mercado lady or whatever from Venezuela ended up, you know, offering her Peace Prize as a token of loyalty to our big beautiful boy here. And I'm sure that he can, anytime he wants, he can go wear it and feel like a very the peaceful dove that he clearly is. So we're going to start with this video here. This is Trump speaking on the war. It was, I think, from yesterday, if I remember correctly. I think there were some clips that came out of it. Uh, I wanted to find a shorter video. I didn't know that he went on for like 30 minutes here, but if we get bored though, we can always just move into the next video. So uh, I guess let's just go ahead and see, get some new updates. What Trump has to say on war with Iran at this press conference in lovely Doral, Florida. Let's go.
Nuclear threat from Iran, which was a big moment in history, in my opinion, and the great success we've had in Venezuela and all other places. Every place we've gone, we've had tremendous success. But while we're doing all of these things, we're achieving major strides toward completing our military objective. And some people
What
could
was
say
that
they're
again?
pretty well complete. We've
What was our military objective again?
every single force in Iran out very completely. Most of Iran's naval power has been sunk. It's on the bottom of the sea. It's almost 50 ships. I was just notified it's 51 ships. I didn't know they had that many.
I didn't either.
Last very long.
I didn't either. The only thing I ever knew about Iran was they had a shit ton of ballistic missiles and a shit ton of drones. And so I'm curious more about that than their navy, to be honest. I don't really know. I've never heard of the prowess of Iran's navy before, but I have to assume that that might not be their strong suit. But yeah, let's see what else he has to say.
And these are fighting vessels. They're
Oh,
meant
totally.
to fight, but
Totally
they're not
believe
meant
that.
to fight against us. We continue to target Iran's drone and missile.
I mean, if there's one thing I know about this administration is they love sinking civilian ships. Like it's their favorite thing. They in Venezuela, like every single ship they were sinking was like just a fisher boat with like a couple fishermen on it or whatever. And it's like, so when he says stuff like that, like, oh, they're all totally military vessels, I'm like, oh, sure, definitely believe it, 100%.
Capabilities. Their drones are way down. Their drone manufacturing's been hit starting today. We know all of the places they manufacture the drones, and they're being hit one after another. Their missile capability is down to about 10%, maybe less. We're also hitting where they make missiles and where they deliver missiles.
I thought they made them all
We've
underground.
struck over 5,000 targets to date, some of them very major targets. And we've left some of the most important targets for later in case we need to do it. If we hit them, it's
Hey, saving the best for last, baby. That's the way to do
going
it.
to take many years for them to be rebuilt, having to do with electricity production and many other things. So we're not looking to do that if we don't have to. But they're the kind of things that are very easy to hit, but very devastating if they are hit. We are
Also war
waiting to
crimes.
see what happens before we hit them. We could take them all out in one day, but it's all resulting in a 90% decline in various things, but in particular, Iranian missile launchers and 83% drop in drone launchers. As you know, the drone launchers are pretty well shot, but we're at over 90% decline in the Iranian missile launchers, which is very hard to reproduce and very hard to get. And usually what we were able to do through great equipment, a lot of smart people, as soon as they sent a missile
So
up
smart.
from a launcher, we were able to knock out
Just like
that
you.
launcher within a period of 5 minutes or less. accurately right on the noggin. So now we have low-cost interceptors effectively combating Iranian drones, and our B-2 bombers recently dropped dozens of 2,000-pound bombs to destroy missile launchers all over Iran and buried deep under Iranian soil in many cases. The soil was
Are
no
those the
match.
bunker busters?
And we're also annihilating the
See, I have such a hard time buying it, man. I do think that Iran really like put like they put a lot of this deep underground, and I'm very skeptical that we're able to really like hit them that much. Now we might be hitting the entrances, maybe like or like the entrance and exits. Like they might be like they might have to dig out of them or something. But I am very skeptical of that they're actually destroying the munitions because they spent so much time and so much money trying to protect those for this literal exact situation. So I don't know if I buy that 100%.
manufacturing base that the regime uses to build drones and missiles at a rate that nobody thought was possible. We're knocking them out. We know where they all are. We're knocking them out very quickly. We're ahead of our initial timeline by a lot. I would
What
say
was
that we
that?
probably would not have thought after a month
Dude,
we'd be here.
I need them to tell me what the original timeline was. I still don't understand. I don't know. They never tell me any of the details. They always keep it super vague.
In addition to the fact that we've taken out the leadership twice and maybe three times. And we, as you know, we want to be involved. We don't want another president that maybe wouldn't be willing to do what I'm willing to do for the good of the world, for the good of our nation.
No other
To be
president.
stuck with the situation in 5 years or 10 years.
Can you imagine Sleepy Joe Biden? Can you imagine Sleepy Joe Biden? He would never do what I'm doing. I actually, by the way, I think he probably would, considering what he allowed Israel to get away with in Gaza. But
From now. So we think they should put a president in or the head of the country in that's going to be able to do something peacefully for a change. They've been doing this for 47 years, killing people for 47 years, whether it's the barracks or even the SS Cole where they were involved very strongly.
I don't
They
know
always
anything
denied
about
it.
that.
But where they were very strongly involved, and all of the people that died through the roadside bombs died and are right now walking around with no legs, no arms, a face that's been so badly damaged. The Iranian regime has been attacking Americans and spreading terror for
This is
40
one of the things about Trump that I'm like, I also don't understand. He's so obsessed with like visceral like damage of the human body, and I think that there's something going on in his brain where like he's just like any person he sees who's like disfigured just like grosses him out to no end, and uh, I don't know what that is. I don't know where that came from, Mr. Trump. Maybe it's with his like germaphobe stuff that he has. But he always brings up that shit.
47 years, and despite these countless opportunities to renounce their nuclear ambitions, which they had just a short while ago, they told Mr. Witkoff, who is standing right over here, they said, they actually said, we want to keep building, essentially, in a real nutshell, we want to continue to build nuclear weapons. If we didn't knock out Midnight Hammer, if we didn't knock out their Iranian potential,
In a real nutshell, man, they were gonna build that nuke any day now. Any day now. I've heard that for what, 20 years now? Any day now they were gonna get that nuke.
if we didn't do that with Midnight Hammer, they would have had a nuclear weapon. They would have used
Oh,
it
I'm
long
sure.
before now.
Oh,
And at a minimum, Israel would have been annihilated.
oof. Wait a second. Wait a second. Don't say that, Mr. President. You're gonna turn everybody against this. Israel would have been annihilated if we just let them develop a nuke. Like, I think that everybody's going to be on board for letting them develop a nuke at that
I was
point.
very lucky that we had the courage to do that, that we had the talented pilots and the great equipment. The B-2 bombers are unbelievable. We ordered 25 more, by the way. The newer,
Ugh, Lockheed
better
Martin.
version.
Oh yeah.
It's we have the greatest military.
Our military or our military industrial complex or the Pentagon has never passed a budget or never passed an audit, by the way. That money is going into the ether. That tax money is it is dusted. It no longer exists.
In the world, we have the greatest equipment.
But some contractors out there, they also suddenly all of a sudden got like some money just mysteriously appeared in their pocket all of a sudden.
In the world by far. You see that no matter where we go. You still need the people, though, to operate it and to use it. And those are the people that we cherish. Even after we obliterated their key nuclear sites in Operation Midnight Hammer, they never negotiated in good faith. They still continued to say, we want to build nuclear. We want enrichment at levels that were
Couldn't get a deal.
And they even turned down an offer for unlimited free nuclear fuel forever for civilian purposes. We had people offering them free nuclear fuel. They weren't interested in that because they wanted to build a nuclear weapon. So instead, the regime was trying to reconstitute its weapons program at a different site. They couldn't go back to where they were, the 3 sites that we obliterated, but they were starting work at another site, a different site, different kind of a site. And that was protected by granite. They wanted it protected. Granite's pretty good, but they wanted
Hey,
it protected by
I got a countertop that, I can attest to that. He ain't wrong. Iranians, they made a good choice with that location.
a lot deeper.
Should have done that the first
They
time.
wanted to go a lot deeper, and they started the process
Ooh, how deep?
while rapidly building conventional ballistic missiles. They were going to do it all at the same time. It threatened our overseas bases and soon could have reached even our homeland.
No.
The regime's intention was to use this exponentially growing ballistic missile threat to make it virtually impossible to prevent them from obtaining a nuclear weapon. So as you probably saw, they had a tremendous number of missiles, most of which are now being used or destroyed, and very unsuccessfully used because we have been able, for the most part, to shoot them all down. What incredible technology. The Patriots have been unbelievable, and other things. And the laser technology that we have now is incredible. It's coming up.
The laser stuff. I'm very curious about this. I would love to get like a military person or like a weapon pervert, like arms weapon pervert on here to like talk about like the laser stuff because I've heard them talk a lot about it, but I feel like I can't imagine it being that much of a game changer in terms of like missile defenses because like they said that they've developed it. It's been around now for like a few years, and like they're still using all the normal interceptors. If it was this like game-changing thing where they could just like insta blast these, like insta detonate these incoming missiles all of a sudden, you'd think that they would actually be like, giving us all the stats on like how they're what like wouldn't they just use that for everything at this point? Like I don't know.
Out pretty soon. Where literally lasers will do the work of, at a lot less cost, do the work of what the Patriots are doing or what other things are doing. The situation was very quickly approaching the point of no return, and the United States found it intolerable, in my opinion, based on what Steve and Jared and Pete and others were telling me, Marco, so involved, that I thought that they were going to attack us. I thought they would, if we didn't do this.
Oof. Good thing
At
he
the
stopped
time
him.
we did it, I think they had in mind to attack us. And if you notice, they did something which was very foolish, very stupid, I would say. They attacked their neighbors. And their neighbors were largely neutral.
I've said it before. I think that was a pretty decent strategy. Like, they got to build up the pressure on America, and show the world that America is incapable of defending these people, defending their allies. And the more that they show the weakness and inability of America to protect these countries that are supposed to be aligned with America, then the more the people in those countries are going to get really pissed off at their governments for allowing the military bases to exist on their soil. So, I don't know. Like, I think that's a good strategy. Also, their military assets who are like providing data and stuff to America in order to like help them bomb Iranis here. Like, they got to do that anyway, just for like the strict goals of war.
Or at least weren't going to be involved.
Are we allowed to watch that
And they
on
got
YouTube?
attacked. And it had the reverse effect. The neighbors came onto our side and started attacking them and actually quite successfully. If you look at Saudi Arabia, you look at UAE, Qatar, and others, but they were strong and they were smart, but they got attacked. And nobody, when I first heard it, I said, no, somebody made a mistake. There was no mistake.
Such a
UAE
big
had
mistake.
over 1,000 missiles shot at it, knocked them almost all down. On the very first day I came down the escalator in 2015, I said, quote, I will stop Iran from getting...
I just want to go back, dude. Someone, please, someone out there, you need to fix the timeline, please. Someone, go back to that escalator. I don't know, stick your like shoelaces in it or something. Get it to stop. Like we need to fix the timeline. We have to go back.
getting nuclear weapons. And all I'm doing is keeping my promise. Think of that. That was in 2015. I said it. It was a threat then and a much bigger threat now, but no longer a threat, not for a long time anyway. We want to keep it that way. As we continue Operation Epic Fury, we're also
Epic
focused
Fortnite.
on keeping energy and oil flowing to the world. And I will not allow a terrorist regime to hold the world hostage and attempt to stop the globe's
What are you
oil
gonna do?
supply.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to stop, like, to get the oil tankers to flow? Are you going to like? Because as far as I know, none of them have taken you up on your offer to, send your, American military assets, boat like their naval boats, to escort people through the Strait of Hormuz. Like nobody's taken you up on that offer. So like, what are you going to do? Are you going to literally be like, hey, oil companies, if you don't send your crew, like your highly expendable crew, through this incredibly dangerous like area in the Middle East in the midst of an active war, like we're going to like assassinate your CEO or something? Like how are you going to force these people to do your bidding here? Like I'm very curious. Like there's nothing you can do. They're not going to do it. It's too much risk.
And if Iran does anything to do that, they'll get hit at a much, much harder level. I will take out those targets that were
I don't buy it.
easy and that I mentioned just before. We'll take them out so quickly, they'll never be able to recover, ever. If they want to play that game, they better not play that game. In the long run, oil supplies will be dramatically more secure without the threat
I mean, we did all of these war crimes. Like we have more technology now, but we did all of these war crimes to Vietnam as well, and they recovered just fine. So, like, I don't know. Sure, Mr.
Iranian
President.
ships, drones, missiles, nuclear menace, or anything. So the Strait of Hormuz is going to remain safe. We have a lot of Navy ships there. We have the best.
One thing that American like presidents and stuff seem to really believe is that the more war crimes you do, the more like strategic victory you will have. And I think Israel kind of believes this too. And it has just historically never been the case. Like doing a ton of war crimes does, like destroying the civilian populace or whatever, does not make for a strategic victory. In fact, it usually has a like opposite reaction with the populace as they become, like less willing to like endure, or like less willing to like go along with they've just become more willing to join like insurgent cells and stuff. So like I don't know, you can keep trying, man. I'm sure this time it'll work. I'm sure this time when we commit, all of the war crimes, unlike in the woke Iraq war where we never committed a single war crime, I'm sure this time all of the war crimes will finally lead to strategic victory. I'm sure.
Best equipment in the world, inspecting for mines. Again, most of their ships are down at the bottom of the sea.
With
but
the fishes.
We will hit them so hard that it will not be possible.
Hey, you know what? That will be good for the fishes, though. Maybe those ships can become nice little habitats for to get some environmentalism going. So maybe that's what his plan was.
For them or anybody else helping them to ever recover that section of the world, if they do anything. In recent years,
Now that, on the other hand, all that black smoke, I don't think is going to be good for the environment. In fact, maybe, yeah, I think that probably cancels it out.
regime and its terror proxies have launched attacks on hundreds of commercial vessels. We're putting an end to all of this threat once and for all, and the result will be lower oil prices, oil and gas prices,
Ooh.
for American families. We've done that. We've done it. We brought it very low. This was just an excursion into something that had to be done. We're getting very close
Just
to
a little side
finishing that
quest.
too. In the meantime, during this brief disruption, the United States is offering political risk insurance to any tankers operating in the Gulf. So we're putting up risk insurance. We'll perhaps
My tax
go
dollars.
alongside of them for protection. We don't think it'll be necessary. If it is,
Bad
and if they
idea.
do anything, the price will be
Uh-huh.
incalculable. It will be so
Incalculable.
great that they will have wished they never did it.
He says this every time, dude. He says this is like he says the exact same phrasing every single time. That this is that you're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret it if you do it. And then when people do it, it's like just more of the same. Like I don't know. Okay, cool.
Because you have to keep the straits flowing. With all of that, it affects other countries much more than it does the United States. It doesn't really affect us. We have so much oil.
We're
We have
pretty
tremendous
insulated.
oil and gas, much more than we need. We have Venezuela now as our new partner, great partner. It worked out so wonderful. We're working with the administration, the president, and it's a
Venezuela also should be taking this opportunity to get oil to Cuba. Like, what are we gonna do? All of our military assets are like bogged down in Iran. Like, they should also be taking this opportunity to, you know, to do that shit.
massive source of oil, gas, everything. But we're in a very good position, but very unfair to other parts of the world, like China as an example. I mean, we're doing this for the other parts of the world, including countries like China. They get a lot of their oil through the straits. So we're doing this. We have a very good relationship with President.
Well, to be fair though, unlike us, China has like an ungodly amount of green energy as well. So they're pretty insulated from this regardless. Like they've got a lot of solar panels and a lot of windmills and just I don't know. They got a ton of green energy. So I think they'll probably be fine. And they got that BYD company, all the electric cars. I'm sure they'll be great.
In China. I'm going there in a short period of time, and we're protecting the world from what these lunatics are trying to do, and very successfully, I might add. We're also waiving certain oil-related sanctions to reduce prices. So we have sanctions on some countries. We're going to take those sanctions off till this
Russia.
straightens out. Then who
Russia.
knows, maybe we won't have to put
They're going to allow so much Russia oil, and all of the Europeans are going to be like, they're going to be so happy. Maybe they can finally end their energy crisis once they can buy oil from Russia again. I'm curious if after this, if they're actually going to be able to re-sanction Russia or whatever, like if they can mitigate some of the cost to the Europeans with this. Like I'm curious.
them on. There'll be so much peace. But when the time comes, the U.S.
I'm
Navy
sure.
and its partners will escort tankers through the strait if needed. I hope it's not going to be needed, but if it's needed, we'll escort them right through. And we have the greatest mine-sweeping ability. We have the greatest ships, and we know exactly where they're placed. We'll get them out of there very fast, but we hope we don't have any of that. And again, if they do that, if they play that
Look at this breaking news segment. President Trump, we have tremendous oil and gas. The best.
game, we're going to hit them at a level that they have not seen before. So we're winning very
Yeah.
decisively. We're way ahead of schedule.
What schedule?
Our military is the greatest in the world, with the greatest equipment and the greatest people in the world. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Iran's a very powerful country. They were going to take over the Middle East. If we did not hit them, they were going to take over the Middle East. They had thousands and thousands since their last hit. They had thousands and thousands of missiles and everything else. Most are now destroyed. But they were going to take over the Middle East. Those weapons were aimed at Middle Eastern countries that had nothing to do with this. They were going to take over the Middle East, and they were going to try and destroy Israel.
Except
So we
for all
stopped
those
it with
bases.
good timing, and we're very proud to be involved in this, and it's going to be ended soon. And if it starts up again, they'll be hit even harder.
See, I'm not so sure it's going to be ending anytime soon, though. Iran has come out. They said, we're not letting you end it. They said they're planning on keeping this going. I heard one person say until the midterms. They want us to feel as, they want Donald Trump in particular to feel as much pain as possible from making this decision. And that's probably the right move by them. It's kind of what I said they should do in the beginning is they need to control the de-escalation. They cannot allow us to control the de-escalation this time. Otherwise, it'll just keep happening. So I think that you know, I have doubts in my head that it's going to actually end anytime soon.
Thank you very much for being here. Go ahead. Any questions?
Ooh, the rabble rousers.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Go ahead.
Do you approve of Iran's new supreme leader? And secondly, can you tell us more about your call with Russian President Vladimir Putin today?
Yes.
What did you discuss?
Yes, I had a very good call with President Putin. We had a lot of people on the line from our side, from his side. We were talking about Ukraine, which is just a never-ending fight. And when
I seem to remember a person sometime in the past who said, day one, Ukraine, Russia, it'll be solved. He was such a naive young 80-year-old back then.
look, there's tremendous hatred between President Putin and President Zelensky. They can't seem to get it together. But I think it was a positive call on that subject. And we obviously talked then about the Middle East. And he wants to be helpful. I said, you could be more helpful by getting the Ukraine-Russia war over with. That would be more helpful.
Yeah, because we want their missile interceptors. We want their resources that we previously gave them so that we can use them to try to protect Israel and some of our Gulf state allies. Like, this to me is just an admission that we are like, we're getting low. Like, we're getting low on interceptors.
But we had a very good talk, and he wants to be very constructive. Yeah, please. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. On Iran, you called it an excursion. You said it would be over soon. Are you thinking this week it will be over?
No,
Are you talking
but soon.
about days?
I think soon.
Okay, and with respect
Very
to
soon. Look,
Very soon.
everything they have
The
is
most
gone,
soon.
including their leadership. In fact, there are two levels of leadership, and even actually, as it turns out, more than that. But
Three
two
levels.
levels of leadership are gone. Most people have never even heard about the leaders that they're talking about. So it's obviously
No shit. We're all dumbass fucking Americans. Nobody even knew like Khomeini's name or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know if the average American knows who the supreme leader, like which supreme leader got killed or what the name of it was. Like, yeah, no shit. Nobody has heard of these other people.
been very, very powerful, very effective.
to Cuba, you said that Cuba wants to make a deal.
Yes.
What would the United States get in return for that, and why should Americans trust Marco Rubio to negotiate it?
Well, Marco
Hey,
Rubio
little
is
Marco.
doing a great job. I think he's going to go down as
We
the
love
greatest
little
Secretary
Marco.
of State in history. Look at what we've done as a presidency. Look at what we've done as an administration. They trust Marco, and so do the American people trust. He's been successful no matter where he's been. He also speaks the language, which is always nice and always helpful. But he's dealing, and it may be.
I'm honestly a little surprised. I'm a little surprised that he can even speak the language, considering how much a Cuba expat rube he is.
Friendly takeover. It may not be a friendly takeover. It wouldn't matter because they're down to, as they say, fumes. They have no energy. They have no money. They're in deep trouble on a humanitarian basis. And
You're just going to admit that?
we don't want to see that, but
We don't want to see that, and yet we continue to do it. We continue to blockade them like it's the fucking the Middle Ages. Like, we're doing the most atrocious forms of warfare to this like poor starving island. Like, yeah, okay, dude.
they were very, very bad to a lot of people, as you know, and a lot of people living the Cuban American vote, which I got at record levels.
Yeah, they're a bunch of freaks, dude.
Very important.
Of course you
Those
did.
people are very important to me. I know what they went through. They went through hell. Some of them have gone on to be some of the most successful people in the country. Cuban American business people, some of them are like the most successful in the country. And a lot of them are friends of mine because I've been fighting this battle with them for a long time. The Castro regime was brutal, but they lived off
Okay,
that.
I don't really. So I'm gonna move on now. Thank you, Donald Trump, for all of your wonderful information.